Hi, welcome back to OD YouTube channel. Today is Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas. Although this is not a religious thing, it's just an Inkvent calendar. It's just about inks, but today it's December 24 and I want to show you the ink of the window number 24 and it's here. Let's open it and see what we have inside. Oops, I ripped this one a little bit more, but no problem. We are reaching the end of the calendar. Sometimes these doors that are close to another one that is already open, they can rip a little bit or tear, but it's not that problematic because this will all go to the recycle bin. So it looks like a brown ink and it's called salted caramel, which is something that I don't like. The salted caramel, I'm not talking about the ink, and it is a shimmer ink with a beautiful gold shimmer particles inside. You can see there. It's quite magnificent, I would say. Let's see how this will work, because I would say it has everything that I would love in an ink, not in the flavor, if this was to it. So this is it. I'll be right back for the swatch. Now let's see how this salted caramel looks like. Again, seems to be very thick ink, and the shimmer may explain that. You see that by how the little droplets form. They form and keep their shape in a different way. I like this brown, at least while wet. We'll need to see how it looks like when it's dry. It may not be that interesting. We'll need to see. Let me just clean the knife and I will pick up the ink swatch for us to see this tidal wave of color and sparkly stuff going around. I like this. I'm enjoying to do this this year, just to look at all the sparkly stuff walking around the swatch. So this may promise something, but I don't really love the way how it looks so light on the lighter parts of the shading, but that's what we'll see next when it dries, and also when it's in a pen. That's the way we can see how it really behaves. As I say, the swatches are more like the full potential of it, from the lightest and thinnest stroke to the most wet pen, but it's just an idea of what we can get. So I'll be right back to show you more about the ink. This is nice, isn't it? Okay, enough fun. And here we have it, fully dry now. And you can see it is a very light brown with beautiful warm gold shimmer. So this is the salted caramel. And let's see how I would compare this ink. And I'm sorry, I don't have much to compare this ink with. Just let me start to compare it with two other shimmering inks. One is Pelikan Edelstein Golden Beryl, which is really a dark yellow, not brown, and also the Gold Star from 2019, which is a nice orangey yellow, and they have nothing to do with it. But when you look at these, like, we could think, oh, it's just kind of gold color. No, it is a brown with gold, not yellow with gold, just to show you. Also, for another comparison, I have here the Herbin de Thé, which is kind of similar, but this one is more saturated with no shimmer. And I have also here that ink that I don't really like, the Mont Blanc Swan Illusion Plume, which has these different kinds of shading of color variation that I don't love that much, and this one has a hint of that. When we look at the chromatography, we will see that this is an ink that, besides the line made by the glitter that stay behind because it's heavier and gets trapped on the paper fibers, we'll see that there is it's not water resistant at all, and the red and the yellow, green, blue all goes away. And that will be very visible when I'll show you the sample on the Rhodia paper. And now let me show you also how this looks on the 3 papers that I usually have. But first, let me tell you about the pens that I chose for this video. One of them is this pen that I really enjoy with this interesting clip. This is a Lamy pen. This is the Lamy Ion, which is a pen that I really like, made of metal, very well designed in my opinion. It caps like this. I think it's just a beautiful pen, and it has this nib, which is compatible with the Safari nib, although it's not the same shape. This one is a fine nib, it is a cartridge converter pen. The other pen I chose is also black, but has little to do with that. Also a cartridge converter pen, and it is the Parker 45 Coronet. And it is an aluminium pen. The cap, this band is wrong because it should be a wider one, like maybe like this, but it isn't, so just the cap is wrong. And this one has this is a cartridge converter pen, clearly made to be posted. And this one has a O for oblique nib, gold oblique nib. So these are 2 very different pens, and I will show you how they perform with this ink on different papers. We'll start with the Moleskine paper, and let's go and search for the shimmer. I think you can see it here with the Parker oblique nib. Not that much with the Lamy fine nib, but you can see something, and that's also visible here. We can see some shimmer when I use the Lamy, but with the Parker we get much more. This ink behaves well. Again, it has lots of color variation. I think people love these. I don't love these that much, and it has lots of shimmer. When we look at this with Oxford paper, we can also see the shimmering there. Not that much visible with the Lamy Ion, but still, it's still there. When you look here, because of the ink flow, you'll see that the Parker has much more shimmer than the Lamy. I always do the same thing. I have the bottle, I shake it heavily until all this glitter gets suspended. Then I fill the pen, I close it again, I shake it again, and then I fill the other pen to be sure that the glitter is inside the pen and not just on the bottom of the bottle. So no bleed through, perfect performance on this paper, and I think you can see, sorry, I wanted to show this. I think you can see it has a kind of a little different behavior. It looks darker on this paper, but the paper is also darker. And this is with the copy paper. We can also see lots of shimmer, and there mostly on the, here not that much on Lamy Ion, but on Parker 45 you can see a lot. So there is no shading with this ink on this paper because, or at least there is very little, because the paper is very absorbent and there's not little pools of ink on top of the paper. And then we have bleed through as usual in this not so good paper. And now let's see how they will write here. We have the test where I put the water and it completely disappeared, completely. So no water resistance at all. It completely disappears from the paper. And about the drying time, it is between 15 to 20 seconds, which is kind of good. And now let's just write with these two pens. I have to say, this ink tends to clog a little bit both pens. So this is Lamy Ion. The quick brown, when it doesn't clog, it has a very nice flow. Fox jumps over the lazy dog. And the flow is quite good, that's why you can see the shimmer, but with this the flow is even bigger. The Parker 45 and the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. With this pen is always a little bit more difficult. It skipped a little bit there on the beginning, just because Parker 45 is always a pen that needs to be written with in a specific angle. It has always a specific sweet spot to write to it. And so you can see here, not that much glitter on the Lamy Fine, but lots of it on the Parker Oblique. So this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you all for watching. Thank you Appelboom for sending me the calendar for review. I'm sorry for being late because there will be some delay on editing and uploading the video. But this is all. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow. Bye.